1. Boom. Boom. And we're back.
Awesome.
Okay, Cigars 101. We're cruising through. Thank you for everyone who's joining us. Now we're talking cut, light, smoke.
Cut, light, smoke.
And you just rolled your own cigar.
I did. This is the process that you use when you're at a factory, when you're walking through and they want to try a leaf. This was the cigar that we had just taken apart, but this creates what's called a holocho. And this is a single leaf. And
if you got pulled over with that, I swear to God.
Yeah. Floral.
Nice.
Okay.
So now we're talking cut, light, smoke. If you haven't seen the other section, watch it, which talks about, obviously, the parts of the cigar. And what we talk about is the wrapper itself rolling up into the cap line. When you cut it, it's important you stay on the north side, as I say, of the actual cap line itself. When you're cutting. When you cut it, let's say it's a straight cut, here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to look at the cigar this way and guess how far you are, right? You look at it from the top, so that way you can control how much that cigar is making its way through. You take it right to the shoulder, just to the shoulder, cut
Right
it,
where it's going at.
and it should just be a very, very small amount that's on there.
Smaller ring gauge cigars, we highly recommend using a straight cutter. That would be a Lancero, a Corona, a Petite Corona, any of those. We highly recommend that you use a straight cutter. Anything larger than that, utilizing a V-cutter also makes just a ton of sense, because that V-cut comes down and creates turbulent smoke. Turbulent smoke is cooler smoke, and the flavor comes from cooler smoke. Heat kills flavor. Don't forget.
It kills flavor. Now, you're going to cut up a pyramid or a bellicoso or a torpedo. All of those can make sense.
Yes.
You're smoking one of those real deals.
This is from 2008. This is from the Reyes family that makes Patoro. But I wanted to show this because it's a spectacular cigar. They only made like 400 boxes in 2008. But this particular cigar has such a dominant pyramid shape. So what I wanted to show is there are really a couple of different ways. You could actually V-cut this. You could come in this straight. And again, what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna cut down. You'll cut down a little bit deeper on this than the normal just cutting the cap off at the shoulder, because in that rolling process, they really had to pack it into the top. So it's gonna be tighter at the top. So from that perspective, you would want to cut down here a little bit further, a little closer to that, where that shoulder comes up, kind of in the middle between the torpedo top and where it makes the turn. In this case, it's 1.5 inches, so it's, I would be kind of smack dab in the middle. My preferred method, and this is my preferred shape of cigars, is what we call cutting on a bias. And what that will do is I'm actually putting the cigar in at an angle, and hopefully you guys can see this, but I'm putting the cigar in at an angle, and I'm cutting to create that result.
Now, why do you do that?
So I do this because it's going to give me more surface exposure. It's going to get us into the area where it's going to be a little bit looser. But for me, particularly, when smoked up, smoke goes to the roof of your mouth, circles back around, and is cooler on your palate. Again, cool is good. If you want to have two different cigars in one cigar, flip this over and pinpoint that beam of smoke directly onto the front of your palate, and the cigar will get considerably stronger. So it is a great way to cut any of your torpedoes. Cut them on the bias.
And then once it comes to it, to keep the cool, it's the weirdest thing, but like you're saying, smoke cool, light cool. When you're lighting your cigar, what you want to do is keep the actual flame off of the tobacco itself. That heat's gonna rise, it's gonna get to it. When it gets to it, take the time to really toast the foot. This process called toasting the foot will make sure that your tobacco burns evenly. It makes it so when you bring it up, the cigar is virtually, really, it's pretty much lit. You just bring it up just a little bit, couple puffs, and you're off and rolling. The more you toast the foot, the less you have to bring that butane, that stuff that's cooking off, into the cigar itself, meaning it's going to be a cleaner smoke all the way through.
You want me to light this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just because.
One of the things I want to show is how far away you can be with this. So I'm just getting this warm. I'm not hammering it like this. So I've got the foot toasted. Watch there.
You are cooking the piss out of this. Now, mind you, they made 400 boxes of this in 2008. We're just,
Yeah.
is that good?
Feel how toothy that wrapper is.
Holy sheep shit. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's hop into regions. So if you have questions, cut, light, drop them in. I'm sure most people who are watching.
Brian Burnett had a great, Brian's on a budget.
Yeah.
So what he does, he buys cigars, cuts them in half, and then smokes one half. Yes.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah. Well, that's what he says.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's an option for you.
Do that.
So
I'm going to smoke this out.
We're going to talk regions. So if you have questions, drop them now.